Hey guys, welcome to a brand new video on my channel, Makes Movies. If you are new to this channel, this is basically where I talk to you guys about my passion for movies. This goes from collections, hauls, reviews, and to today's video, so let's get into it. Okay, so I'm finishing up my top 5 of 2024 so far, with my top 5 worst movies of 2024. Now, in all fairness, like I said in my previous video, I have not seen all the films that I want to see, so there could be films on here that have come out this year so far that could make this list. So like I said, this is just a rough list, and to be honest, it's only number 1 and 2 that I haven't well and truly enjoyed. They're the ones that are not the best. The other 3, they're okay, but just not my favourites of the year so far. But like I said, there's other films I haven't seen yet, and we've also got films still to come out, so this is a very rough list, and like I said, I haven't kept track properly of my movie watching, so I really need to get onto that. So I'm just going to move over to the side and put the posters up there. Also, apologies for the lighting, I am working with what I've got. Okay, so at number 5 we have Orion and the Dark. So this was a straight to Netflix DreamWorks movie. Don't get me wrong, like I said, the last 3 in this list, they're okay, but they're not great. I did like the idea of the Dark sort of like trying to persuade people not to be afraid of him. I like that. But for me, it's not the worst DreamWorks film, but it hasn't been the best either. But for a straight to streaming film, it was okay, but it's one of those ones that I might not return to that often. Obviously, I'm going to rewatch it to work on my ranking for this year, but I don't know. For me, I just struggled to get into this one a little bit. So like I said, it's a cute story, cute animation, but overall, it's just meh. Okay, and at number 4, we have Good Grief. Now, this was the very first film I watched this year, and I'm a little bit disappointed by it in the sense of the trailer. It made it look so good. Plus, also, it's got Daniel Levy in it, who is David in Schitt's Creek. And me and my mum decided to watch the film because of him, because we really enjoyed his character in Schitt's Creek. But it ended up being not as good as we thought it was going to be. It felt like it was meant to be more emotional than what it was. I do like the plot, I do like the characters, but I just really struggled to get into it. Maybe when I watch it a second time in prep for this end of year ranking, maybe then I will enjoy it a bit more. But for right now, I was hoping for better, and I think I got my hopes way too high. Okay, and at number 3, we have Madam Web. Now, I'm just going to say this right now. This is actually an okay movie. It is okay. Not the greatest. There's some things that I could say that could make it better. But for right now, it's only at my number 3 because, like I said, there's probably a couple of other films that I've seen on streaming services and things like that that might move this out of the top 5, to be honest. Out of all of these, Madam Web might be one that I move a little bit. But I think I was kind of like other people, got my hopes up, hoping it was going to be good, and then it weren't as great. It was okay. It wasn't terrible. But like I said, I do need to give it another watch. Maybe if I give it one more watch, I'll enjoy it a bit more. But I think my issue is that some of the voice overwork didn't fit in so well, especially with our main villain. But like I said, it was okay, but I don't know. With Madam Web, it's one of those ones that I'll give it another watch and see how I get on. But like I said, these bottom 3, they're the ones that might change on my list because there's a lot of other films that have come out this year that I haven't seen yet. I mean, there's certainly one on Netflix that I haven't watched yet that I have a funny feeling might make this list. So it might move some of it about. But for me, Madam Web was just okay. Not great, but okay. But these 2, my second and first ones, they're the ones that I haven't enjoyed a lot of, and I have a funny feeling they might not move. Maybe the first one might not move, the second one might, but the first one might not. And at my number 2 is Argyle. I had my hopes up for this. Me and my mum, we'd gone to the cinema. We saw the trailer for it. It looked hilarious. And then it came on to Apple TV Plus. And we were both disappointed by it. I really like the Kingsman films because this is directed by the guy who did those. So I was looking forward to it. But the plot was just... I don't know. I felt like this could have been so much better. I'm glad I didn't see it in the cinema, even though I've got a membership. I'm glad I waited for it for streaming. Even me and my mum were confused by the plot. We weren't getting it. And then even when they revealed it near the end, it was like, well, what the hell? And it was just... As much as I enjoyed some of the action scenes in this film, and I love Sam Rockwell and Jessica Chastain. They are some really good... Bryce Dallas Howard. Sorry, I got them mixed up. Bryce Dallas Howard. I enjoy them too. But in this film, not so much. I was hoping for so much more. And the fact that some characters from the Kingsman film are in this film, I'm just sort of like... And I heard rumours that they're supposed to be connecting Kingsman and Argyle to the same universe. I'm sort of like thinking, how can you do that? Because you've just put these two that were two characters in the Kingsman film, but they're different characters in this one, and yeah. So I'd love to know where they're going to go with this, if they do continue. But Argyle's at my number 2. Unfortunately, at my number 1 at the moment is the Garfield movie. I did not enjoy this. Whether it is because I did have a bit of a bad cinema experience because there was a couple of kids behind me that would not keep quiet. They kept moving about, this group of teenage boys. So maybe because I couldn't fully concentrate on the film, I don't know. But for me, I really did not enjoy this film. I struggled to get into it. Chris Pratt, I love you as an actor, but I just don't know if I like you as Garfield. I love Bill Murray as Garfield. I think as much as Bill Murray doesn't like that film, I think he did a pretty decent job in that, and I do believe him as Garfield more than I do Chris Pratt. I was going to say Pratt. But the Garfield movie, I think because I got my hopes up a bit too much, like I have done for most of the films in this list, I got really disappointed. And it was just the whole side plot of sort of like a mission sort of thing going on. I was like, that's not really a Garfield thing to do, at least for me anyway. I liked the character of Odie. Adorable. He's like my favourite character in this whole film, and he doesn't even have any lines. But overall, the Garfield movie, I just can't with it. I really wanted to enjoy it because I like Chris Pratt. I like Garfield, and there's some other voice actors in this film that I enjoy, but I just struggled to get into it. Like I said, I do need to give it another watch to get my ranking sorted, but I have a funny feeling this might not move from my number 1. It may move to number 2 potentially, because there's a certain film, like I said, that's on Netflix that I haven't watched yet that could move it. But for right now, the Garfield movie, I'm honestly going to say is one of the disappointing films of the year so far for me. And I really hope they don't do a number 2. I hope they just leave it at this, but you never know. But that is my top 5 worst movies of the year. I hate saying worst. Top 5 least favourite movies of the year so far. We have to say worst. I don't know why, but yeah. So yeah, I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, then do give it a thumbs up. And if you are new to this channel, then go ahead, hit that subscribe button and also notification bell down below to be notified when I post. And also leave me your comments and thoughts on this video, which I probably just said actually. I can't remember what I say now. But also let me know your top 5 worst movies of the year so far. Are you like me who didn't enjoy the Garfield movie, or is there others that are on top of your list? Let me know in the comments down below, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!